broke a nail. Fix it with me. I love press-on nails. They're so quick and easy, but they don't last for very long. You definitely want to buff up your nail, and then you want to dehydrate it and put on some primer if you have it. And alcohol works really, really good for dehydrating. And then you're going to size your nail, and then you want to size your nail. This one looks like it's going to fit pretty good. Just get a drop of glue. This pack actually came with the glue. But any nail glue will work. And then I'm going to go over the nail and make sure that the entire back of the nail and the entire nail itself is covered with glue. I'm going to kind of tuck it just a tiniest bit under my cuticle and press it down for about 10 seconds. Not too hard, you don't want to put too much pressure on the apex, which is right where it's going to start to curve. And there you have it. So these are by Kiss from their Halloween collection this year. They have so many cute ones. Now, I used to do nails. I went to cosmetology school, and I got my license, and I worked in a salon and everything as a nail tech. And I know you're going, well, if you know how to do all that stuff, why do you wear press-ons? Well, I'm addicted to press-ons, and because they're quick and they're easy, and you can change them often with minimal damage to your nail beds, right? And fun story, the inventor of the press-on nails was actually a stylist who worked in a salon, and she wanted a quick, easy way to change her nails to match her outfits. And that was back in the 70s, and thus the press-on nail was born. The history of long nails goes back to like recorded history, for real. It goes back. So having long nails has always been seen kind of as like a status symbol or a symbol of wealth, because if you have, you know, long, strong, healthy nails, not only is it a sign of health, but it's also a sign that you don't do manual labor, because, you know, doing things with your fingers breaks your nails. I have no problem. I could wear super long nails. I could wear super short nails. I can do all kinds of things like open soda and wipe my tushy. And most people who wear fake nails can also do these things. But way back in history, like sometimes even just like cutting your nails would be seen like as a sacrifice. You may be making a sacrifice for the gods, or to show somebody you truly love them. Even in ancient Greece, they would put pistachio shells on their nails, and all throughout history they would do all kinds of cool things to either to protect their nails. So they would grow super long. There was like adorned little metal things, and they would use wood, and as I said, shells, and they would decorate them all pretty. And so, I mean, fake nails have been here as long as civilization. So back in like the 1950s, this dentist dude, he broke a nail, and they used like acrylic monomer and polymer mixed together to make fake teeth. And so, yeah, come at me for my teeth. Anyway, he broke a nail, and the fake nail was born there. The acrylic nail was born. I mean, it's a lot more than that. Obviously, there's patents and all kinds of other stuff, but essentially that's how the acrylic nail came about. In the 1940s, it was like the it thing to have long red nails, and red kind of like, before this point, you know, it was really scandalous. Only, you know, like women of the night would wear red nails, and especially red lips. Actually, did you know, I mean, I'm sure you did, everybody knows this, but Hitler, he hated red lips. Like, he despised it, practically outlawed it. And during World War II, women started wearing red lips and red nails as a way to say to Hitler, and it took off and it became a fad. And my favorite red, ever since I can remember, has always been my Revlon, and it's this iconic color called Cherries in the Snow. Isn't that the sweetest name? Anyway, it's kind of like this perfect line between fuchsia and red. Hence the name Cherries in the Snow, because it's kind of a softer red. It's not soft, it's a bright, bold red, but it's a little more on the pinky side. And I don't know if it's like the Mandela effect or what, but I remember reading in like Cosmo or Vogue or something back in the day, maybe in the 90s somewhere, that Cherries in the Snow has been discontinued. And it made me really sad. And then I remember reading a few years later that they brought it back, and I tried it. I picked up a tube, and it was a little more like on the fuchsia side, and it had some more iridescence rather than being this like really kind of creamy matte formula, and it was like totally different, and I was like way disappointed. But then in doing this the research for this video, like, I mean, it was just a primary. I didn't go deep down the rabbit hole, but like whenever I looked up, you know, Cherries in the Snow discontinued, either I'd get error messages. The only really thing I found about it was there's a vlogger, a beauty vlogger, and I think the name of her vlog was Cherries in the Snow, based on her favorite red that had been discontinued. But other than that, I can't find anything about it being discontinued. What I have found, Revlon dropped actually the second formula of Cherries in the Snow in like 1952. And it's been around ever since, and it's one of their most iconic colors. You can literally get it at CVS. You could get it at Target. I have it on my Amazon cart right now. Do you ever do that? Just like add things to cart and then abandon the cart? Maybe I should go check out, because I literally don't have any Revlon products. I don't have Cherries in the Snow, and it's always been my favorite. I'm so nostalgic about it. I remember one time my mom had a bottle of the nail polish, you know, it was like a little triangle bottle, and it broke in her purse, and it spilled all over everything, but she managed to save some change, and for some reason she just kept the same pocket change like forever, and so she always had this quarter with Cherries in the Snow spilled all over it. And then one day, many years later, like literally like probably 25-30 years later, I found a quarter that had Cherries in the Snow like dripped on it. And it wasn't the same quarter, obviously. Like, why would the same quarter come back to me many states away 3 decades later? But I know it wasn't the quarter because the year was too late. It was like a more modern quarter. But it made me feel very nostalgic for that time in my life when I was a little kid, because I think I was like 4 or 5. Through the time I was like 9 or 10, she had this quarter with his nail polish on it. But Cherries in the Snow was made super popular by a Pulitzer Prize winning author by the name of Sylvia Plath. She actually wrote in one of her books about how it was her signature red lip was Cherries in the Snow. Anyway, by the time the 1980s came around, the 1980s were super fun, colorful, era, and the Lee press-on nails was the shit, baby. You could pick them up at any and every drugstore. It was much more inexpensive than going and getting a full set of acrylics, or back then ceramics would have been popular as well. And you know, they did minimal damage to your nails. They were they were advertised as long lasting, and you could change them with your mood. Super easy, super fun. And Lee, actually, the company, did very well with these nails until the 2000s. Now, in the early 2000s, I think in 2002, Lee filed for bankruptcy, which kind of tracks, because in the early 2000s, it kind of became considered to be like cheap or tacky to wear a press-on nail, and it was seen more elegant or stylish or classy. Actually go to the salon and get a full set of acrylics. Now, this is around the time that I was doing nails in the salon. I think I graduated in 94. And let me tell you, everybody wore acrylics. It was all short. This is around the time that the white tip came out, so it made the French manicure really popular. And again, there was 90 shades of red. That's all anyone wanted, was red or a French tip. Super easy, super basic. And around this time too, well, I mean, much earlier than that, the electric file came out. So instead of it taking, an hour or 2 hours to get your nails done, you could just whip them out like half an hour, throw them under the UV lights. Don't do that, by the way. And poof, presto, you're in and out. Fairly inexpensive. You could get a full set done for like $60. Some places would even do them, fills as low as 20, as opposed to early 2000s. So there was also the back scratcher, which was a fiberglass nail. We don't do a lot with fiberglass anymore, and that's probably a good thing. The fiberglass was, you would put the fiberglass mesh down, and then you would put like a glue-like substance over it, and then you would spray hardening spray that would cure the product. They were super thin as opposed to acrylics that can be really thick. And super durable. And when they say back scratchers, it's because you could, no, that was a company name, a brand name, but you could actually scratch somebody's nails without breaking off your nail because they were so strong and so thin. But yeah, you really needed to go to a professional, an experienced professional, because when you sprayed that stuff on, the chemical reaction that happened that would cure the glue could actually cause, and quite often did cause, pretty severe chemical burn to your nail bed. And let me tell you, oh, holy shit, that hurt so bad. So you definitely wanted to go to someone who knew what they were doing. I actually did a lot of back scratchers in my day. I did a lot of fiberglass nails, and I hate to say I burned a client or two, and I definitely burned myself a time or two. So I definitely think like the gels are probably a better replacement now. But yeah, as opposed to today, like where, you're literally dropping a couple hundred to get your nails done. And today, like the 1980s, it's all about the colors and the artwork and the jewels and the gems and the, chains and the piercings and all the fun stuff that we do with our nails. But when you get that done at a salon, you're paying for skill and you're paying for a product, and a lot of it. So it can get up there. It can get pricey. Now, the fake nail, which like the press-on nails, which can be made out of acrylic, it can be made out of acrylic, it can be made out of gel. Most often, they're just made out of a plastic that's molded into a nail-shaped form that we just glue on our nails, and poof, we're done. We're good to go. These came back in style around, during lockdown, when we couldn't go get our nails done, and it was a nice, oh, hi, Janice. That's my pet, Janice. And today, like, there's some really cool, awesome products out there. There's a lot of indie artists and small businesses that advertise that their nails are stronger, longer lasting, reusable. I haven't actually tried any of those products. My go-to is the Kiss nail. They're pretty strong. They last quite a while, and when they do pop off, you just glue on another one, obviously prep your nail, and you glue on another one. You're good to go. And I mean, look how cute. Under $10. Kiss is the newly press-on nails. Highly recommend, like 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching and joining me today to listen to me rattle on about shit that nobody cares about but sucks up the majority of my mind all the time. Anyway, this is totally not sponsored, because why would anyone sponsor me? Although I do appreciate the 5 views you guys give me. I love you so much. Remember, you are valid, you are worthy, and you are loved.